get a pardon. You will be rewarded for your service and contravention of justice. There's no real silver lining there.
Hey, Roger. Good morning. How's it going?
You can expect that future administrations are going to take note. If there are
Actually, for a change, I'm going to be putting my shoes on for this show instead of taking them off.
And it's ironic too.
I haven't taken Rogan out yet.
Traditionally, the pardon
Hey, Sharon. Fuck Boris Johnson, says Craig Venner. That was random. Okay. What did he do?
grossly inappropriate sentences
What baby Trump do? Baby UK Trump.
for all the good that
What
it
did
does.
baby UK Trump do?
It does a lot of bad too.
Hey, Doc, what's up? Hey, J-Bone. Omerta's in the house.
In punishing crimes.
What's up?
There are a lot of people who are in jail that arguably should not be. And historically, presidents are much more likely to
Hey,
underuse
Evan's going
pardon
good. Billy,
than
what's
they
up,
are
buddy?
to overuse it. And to date, we've never seen anything like what President Trump has done. But the whataboutism is strong. People have pointed to the pardoning of Mark Rich by President Clinton. And that pardon rightfully sparked bipartisan outrage. It sparked congressional inquiries. This is not to say that that particular pardon was in any way just
Hey, Nicole.
correct. People were rightly outraged about it. But this is so much worse. There was and should have been political fallout for that pardon. But what we're seeing out of the Trump administration is much, much worse. It's dozens of individuals who have a direct connection to the president. And the pardon is being used in a way that really does undermine the rule of law. And that's not an exaggeration. Because it's going to change.
You know, the very first thing that Joe Biden should do when he becomes president, walks in the Oval Office, he should sign a presidential bill that does away with presidential pardons. Because I have a feeling that Donald Trump's going to be back in 4 years. And you think these pardons are bad, what he's doing now? He's literally pardoning soldiers that randomly killed innocent people. That's Donald Trump. Now, is that okay with you? If you're a Trump supporter, is that okay with you? Then you support murder. Now, we said before you supported racism, and this is just him externalizing his racism. He hates Iraq. He hates Iran. You know, and these murders took place over there. So he hates those people. So he's pardoning the people that murdered those people. He's making it plainly obvious that he's racist. I couldn't make it any more clear for y'all. But his pardons speak louder than words, man. You're going to pardon someone that murdered innocent Iranians or Iraqis. 14 dead. It was a slaughter. Unarmed women and children. American soldiers wearing the beautiful red, white, and blue American flag on their shoulder picked up their fucking M16s and mowed down 14 innocent people in an intersection. And that's okay with you if you support Donald Trump. Me too, Kevin. Do away with presidential pardons. If you're a murderer and you're convicted of murder, period. That's it. You don't get fucking off on that. What? That's just saying that the law doesn't mean anything? Hey, look who's here. All right. Hey, buddy. All right, well, I have got something for you to watch about presidential pardons while I take the dog out for a walk. This gentleman's name is Legal Eagle on YouTube, okay? Legal Eagle on YouTube. I don't know who he is. He's a sharp-dressed man. He's got a nice little beard sprouting out of his follicles there. But he has a lot to say about the pardon. I'm subscribing to his channel. All right, this guy says there's no pork in the bill. I Okay, wait. Let me watch this first. 'Cause it's only 1 minute, and before I show you this other thing, let me just see if this guy's full of shit or not. Give me 1 second.
Tons and tons of people are upset that the COVID relief bill has a bunch of extra spending in it. Pork barrel spending on things unrelated to COVID relief. Why should a COVID bill have earmarks for higher education and foreign aid? It doesn't make sense. Well,
Right.
It actually does, because
No.
this isn't really a COVID bill. For various procedural reasons I'm not going to go into, this is actually a spending bill that happens to have a COVID bill attached to it.
Right.
This is a bill that funds the U.S. government through September of 2021. $1.4 trillion to keep the government running. And for various arcane procedural reasons, it made sense to add the $900 million COVID relief bill onto the $1.4 trillion spending bill. So this isn't a COVID bill with a bunch of extra spending, it's a spending bill with a bunch of extra COVID stuff. And if you'd like even more legal analysis, check out my Real Law Reviews, where I tackle all the legal news.
Yeah, okay. I don't get it. Yeah, that was a little too quick for me, and I don't understand where he's coming from with that. I don't understand what his end game is with that. But let's go. And he makes a lot of sense on this video. So I want you guys to watch this.
Don't know where to start.
This is really good. I think you guys are gonna like it.
I'm so furious, and I'm so sad for our country that they claim
I'll
to
be
be
right
the
back.
party of law and order. The hypocrisy makes it feel like ash
I'll be right
in my
back.
mouth to even say it.
Share this out,
Because
guys.
there's no depth, no illegality to which the president will not stoop. It's astounding. The president has completed what appears to be the first raft of pardons in the lame duck period. It's a murderer's row of the unpardonable. Though an actual row of murderers are probably less morally blameworthy than the people that actually receive the pardons. Actual war criminals who were responsible for killing innocent Iraqi citizens, including women and children. Ridiculously corrupt politicians like Chris Collins and Duncan Hunter, who were convicted of and were about to serve extensive prison sentences related to insider trading and also embezzling campaign funds, including but not limited to spending those campaign funds on extramarital affairs. Actual traitors to this country, like Paul Manafort, who was a direct conduit to the Russians through Konstantin Kilimnik and Oleg Deripaska, and of course the president's cronies, including but not limited to Paul Manafort, but also Roger Stone and George Papadopoulos. There's just no end to the depravity. This is unprecedented in its baseness, in its venality. We've just never seen anything like this in the US. Effectively, every significant defendant who refused to cooperate with both the Mueller investigation and also just main justice have now been pardoned. The only exceptions being Rick Gates and Michael Cohen, both of whom actually testified and cooperated against the president. And this is tin pot dictator banana republic level corruption. If this seems like comic book villainy, that's because it is. This is not a close case. This is not an issue of red versus blue. This is just pure flat out corruption. And I guess let's start with the bad news, because on some levels, this is worse than it appears. It's not just that the morally reprehensible and actual criminals have been pardoned. It's that this threatens the very fabric of our justice system. In part because this is just the opening act. There's no reason to think that President Trump is going to stop with these pardons. In fact, there's very good reason to think that this is just out there to get people tired, that the worst pardons are yet to come. And it's the usual suspects who are the obvious candidates here. There's no reason to think that the president will refrain from pardoning Jared Kushner, pardoning Bill Barr, pardoning himself, Ivanka, Don Jr., Alan Weisselberg, the CFO of the Trump Organization. But President Trump doesn't have those lines. He doesn't feel shame, and he doesn't give a damn about political norms. Because what happened here is a really, really big deal. President Trump is pardoning a whole bunch of people who engaged in criminality in furtherance of the president's own agenda, for his own campaign, and for other reasons that benefit President Trump personally. Because the problem with pardoning people who engage in actual criminality for the benefit of the sitting president, if the president is allowed to pardon and absolve guilt after the fact, there's a million ways for a sitting president to grift that. Let's take an extreme example. We often talk about how the president could kill someone on Fifth Avenue. But what if the president hired someone to kill a political opponent and then decided to pardon them? Or a less extreme example, let's call it stochastic terrorism, where the president just says, hey, it'd be really great if someone killed my main political rival. And then if you actually pardoned that person, which potentially the president could do, well, then it just incentivizes actual murder of political opponents. And while that's obviously extreme, Vladimir Putin has tried this twice with his main political rival, Alexei Navalny. And obviously there's a state law issue here. Murder is generally a state law crime, so maybe the pardon wouldn't work. But how about this? What if the president intentionally engaged in all kinds of campaign finance violations, getting, let's say, billions of dollars for a campaign slush fund, and then just pardoned all the people who engaged in campaign finance violations for the benefit of the sitting president, who would then have the benefit of billions of dollars of campaign funds? If the president can pardon co-conspirators, or pardon those who engage in criminality at the president's benefit, or just simply hand out pardons like thank you cards, there is no end to gaming the system. And of course, on the other side of the aisle, so far, the Republicans have been absolutely silent. Those people who will jump over themselves to fawn over this president.
No shit.
Ben Shapiro, Mark Levin, Tucker Carlson have said absolutely nothing.
Of course not.
Nothing.
Their silence is deafening, and these are the people that I'm always talking to you guys about to tell you to watch so you can realize how ignorant. You guys have to figure out where you're going to be getting your information from and who you can trust and who you can't trust. And I want you to be able to watch people and tell when they're fucking lying to you and not. You know, that's why I have you watch people that lie to you. So you're used to understanding what it looks like when someone is looking you right in the face and fucking lying to you.
And like I said, this isn't a close case. This is not my side versus yours. This is an affront to the actual rule of law. Really, at this point, only Ben Sasse has had the temerity to even criticize the move, saying that this is rotten to the core. Well, gee, thanks, Ben. Thank you for your service. And by backing those words up with
A.J. Goodman hates
no
Ben
action
Sasse
whatsoever.
Right?
Because there's a
No
lot
action.
of damage that's actually going to keep happening before January 20th gets here.
It's called Legal
there's
Eagle.
Absolutely nothing
One word, Legal
that's
Eagle.
in the works to try and stop this. But I shouldn't criticize Ben Sasse. At least he came forward publicly and at least criticized the president. Everybody else seems to be
deafeningly
happy
silent.
just to sit idly by and silent.
Right.
And unfortunately, it gets worse. Contrary to what you might read on Facebook or Twitter, Trump is almost certainly not going to face criminal scrutiny for even pardoning Manafort or Stone or anybody else, absent actual evidence that there was an explicit...
I tell you what, I don't have as much problems with Trump pardoning the people who lied for him in court. I don't. You know, fuck your court. And fuck your stupid goddamn impeachment trial and fuck all that shit. I don't give a fuck about that. What I give a fuck about is when Trump pardons a convicted murderer. And hey, man, if that was like a woman that was murdering her husband who was abusing her, that's one thing. But these were United States fucking full dress soldiers, okay, wearing the American flag and the fucking the outfit, the uniform representing America, murdering 14 innocent people in Iran or Iraq. I'm sorry, I've got that confused. I think it's Iraq. Iraqis. Either way, that's where I draw the line. And I only say this. I honestly hope that these murderers that receive pardons from Donald Trump get due justice that they fucking deserve. That's all. I hope they get the justice that they fucking deserve. They murdered innocent people. How fucking dare them? And how dare Trump pardon them? What a piece of shit. I don't mind him pardoning the people that lied for him in court. I don't give a fuck. I draw the line, though, when he starts pardoning fucking absolutely cold-blooded fucking killers. I've got a fucking problem.
Quid pro quo between
And
Trump-
every single person that ever watches this show or hears these words coming out of my mouth should agree with me. You should have a problem with Donald Trump, and if you don't, then you're a fucking racist. If you think it's okay that those soldiers murdered people because they're different than you, okay, what if it was your family in an intersection? 14 of your family members got murdered by American soldiers. Would that make it okay all of a sudden? Oh, no, it's not okay? Because it was your family? You're a fucking racist. Fuck you. Fuck you. What if it was Ivanka and Donald Trump Jr. and Melania and Barron and all? Those were the 14 people that got murdered by those American soldiers. Would Donald Trump have pardoned them then? Of course not. Yeah, fucking hypocritical as fuck, huh?
and his co-conspirators,
Hey, Bronco.
there's not going to be criminal repercussions. There's just not. And I don't think even an aggressive
Anybody dropping
attorney
digits?
general in the next administration is going to change.
Yes, I
It's an
see
abuse of
one.
power.
Steve Running. Stephen
The,
Running, thank you, buddy.
The guardrail is impeachment.
Thank you for thinking about
And
me, Stephen
We
Running.
have a couple
appreciate
of days
you, bro.
left in the Trump presidency. Impeachment is no real guardrail whatsoever. So, for all intents and purposes, it's unlikely that President Trump is going to face any kind of real scrutiny as a result of these actions.
I'll
And
scrutinize
while
him.
these are uncharted waters, absent very strong proof of a separate crime like extortion or bribery, these pardons are not going to be declared illegal. And it's not even
What about
clear that
murder?
if we found this separate criminality,
What about
it could be,
murder?
declared illegal, the pardons themselves. And don't expect future state or federal prosecutions of Manafort or Stone. The complications are probably grave enough that it's unlikely that they're going to face punishment for their actual crimes.
You know, how about this?
And like I said,
How about this? Why don't we get the fucking soldiers that Donald Trump pardoned that murdered those 14 people in Iraq, right? And let's put them on TV. And let's interview them. And let's have them tell their story. And they can explain to America why they felt it necessary to mow down 14 innocent fucking civilians in a goddamn intersection. That would be what I'd like to see. Let's get them on TV, man, so everyone can see their murdering fucking faces. I'd love to get to know them a lot better.
the pardons will continue.
What
The
heroes?
message has been
American
sent.
heroes.
If you uphold your silence against who is effectively a mafia don, you're going to get a pardon. You will be rewarded for your service and contravention of justice. There's no real silver lining there. That die is cast.
No, Daryl, sorry. They're soldiers. I'm not gonna change a word so you can feel good about it. All right? Fuck you. They're fucking soldiers. They're United States soldiers. Okay? They chose to join a fucking murdering army. They chose to go into other people's countries and murder them for oil. They're soldiers, buddy. You know, you forget real quick. They're all fucking criminals. War is a crime, bro. And if you participate in war, you're a fucking criminal. If you join the military, you're a fucking criminal. Thank you for your service.
That norm has been broken, and you can expect that future administrations are going to take note if there are no real penalties for abusing the pardon power this way. And it's ironic, too,
Thank you, TD.
because traditionally the pardon power has been grossly underused. There are thousands of people who receive grossly inappropriate sentences every year. For all the good that the justice system does, it does a lot of bad too. Or at least it's often overzealous in punishing crimes.
You know what I hate about this guy? I hate the way he fucking motions with his hand while he talks. And then he like holds his hand up there and he looks at his hand. He thinks about his hand and he does all this shit with it. What the fuck is that? It's creepy as fuck. Where's that hand been? Why are you waving it around like that?
And there are a lot of people who are in jail that arguably should not be. And historically, presidents are much more likely to underuse.
No, you boy. You're working on getting a fucking block now, motherfucker. No, me calling a soldier is not like you calling cannabis weed. A soldier is a soldier, and cannabis is fucking cannabis. Don't even try to go there with me, dude. Your analogies suck my dick. You think you're good, buddy? You're gonna find out how shitty you really are when you try to fucking interact with me on this conversation, dude. You're going the wrong way, bro. Soldiers enter into the military. War is a crime. If you go into the military, you're a fucking criminal. Deal with those facts, bro, and quit trying to double down and obfuscate and deflect. Please. All right, I'm trying to watch something with my friends here.
To overuse it. And to date, we've never seen anything like what President Trump has done. But the whataboutism is strong. People have pointed
right, Carson,
to the
fuck
pardoning of
nukes.
Mark Rich.
Hey, Slowski, what's up, bro?
And that pardon.
All right, who was thinking about me this morning? Somebody was. One person.
It sparked congressional.
Steve Running. Thank you, Steve Running.
This is not to say that
someone else. I saw it.
Particular pardon.
Karsten,
was
yes,
in any
Karsten.
way just
Thank you.
or correct.
Steve, this is for you. Cheers.
People were rightly outraged about it. But this is so much worse. There was and should have been political fallout for that pardon. But what we're seeing out of the Trump administration is much, much worse. It's dozens of individuals who have a direct connection to the president. And the pardon is being used in a way that really does undermine the rule of law. And that's not an exaggeration. Because it's going to change the way that political institutions use the pardon in the future. And it's not going to get better unless there are real punishments. Now, I may be your discount John Krasinski, but let me try to give you some good news here. The first is that Paul Manafort is not going to get his townhouses or ostrich jackets back. Under Ex parte Garland, a pardon does not restore offices forfeited or property or interest vested in others in consequences of the conviction and judgment. So, at least the Mueller investigation will still have turned a profit. You also probably know that these pardons don't really affect state law prosecutions, if there is indeed state-based criminality. We know that there are ongoing investigations.
Weak cannabis,
York,
weak.
But I counsel you, don't hero worship the investigators. We've been burned time and time again that sometimes that's just too much pressure to put on people like New York AG Tish James and Manhattan DA Cy Vance. A lot of the criminality that has been pardoned is purely federal, with respect to lying to federal prosecutors, with respect to federal campaign finance violations and insider trading. It's unlikely that a lot of those crimes have state law counterparts that could even be investigated and punished, let alone will be. That being said,
I'm a
Paul
sweaty guy.
Manafort was convicted of numerous different tax crimes, and it's likely that New York State has similar state law tax crimes that he could be charged with. And even better news,
you hear that?
Recently, the New York legislature closed a pardon loophole that would have prevented prosecution of someone who receives a pardon.
Do you guys remember when one of the fucking idiots came in here yesterday or 2 days ago and tried to argue with me that once you get pardoned, you can commit any crime you want in the future? That pardons are retroactive. And I said, no, they're not. I was like, that's fucking stupid, dude. I was like, if that was true, then you'd hear articles about pardoned people going around committing all kinds of fucking crimes and getting away with it. And people would be pissed about it. It doesn't even make sense. You know what's really true about people who get pardoned? They kind of disappear. They kind of fade away and they don't want to be out in the public eye. The reason why is because people fucking hate them. Because people feel like they got away with something that they shouldn't have gotten away with. So they kind of just disappear. And while people, Fox News, or O&A or fucking Newsmax will glorify these people and have them on, not too many other people will. Not too many other people are going to hire them and put them as the poster boy. You receive a pardon, it means you fucking did something wrong. You broke the law. And it just depends on what you did. Some of these soldiers that murdered these people, if I was an employer, and even if I was in the security business, I would never hire people that murdered other people. That just willy-nilly, and then they got a pardon, so that makes it okay. Oh, so you killed some folks? Oh, 14? What was that like? What's it like just shooting people that are staring you in your face, begging you to not kill them, and you just pull the trigger? What was that like? Tell us about it. You got pardoned for it, so go ahead. Tell us the whole story. In fact, write a book and profit off your murder. You've been pardoned for it. Go ahead. It wouldn't surprise me if some of these soldiers write a fucking book and make money off of it. It wouldn't surprise me if all these people that are pardoned start writing books. Oh yeah, write a book, become a bestseller, become a millionaire overnight. After a bong rip, independent of the pardons, did this person really say at least the Mueller investigation will turn a profit? Making a profit is now justice. I don't understand what you're talking about, Eric. I'm having to get a pardon for a quarter pound of cannabis to get a felony off my record. Amber, we call it cannabis on here, hun. Cannabis, please. Marijuana is a racist word invented by William Randolph Hearst back in the late 1800s. When you use the word marijuana, you're using William Randolph Hearst's word that he used to get cannabis banned. So we're calling it cannabis. We're taking it back. We're taking cannabis back, and we want access for all. So call it cannabis, please, please. Hey, Karen, Jeff, that's not true. You are only exempted from what you were pardoned for, nothing else, past or future. Jeff Lund, right? Trickster 3. Thank you, Trickster. Amber. Having to get a pardon to get a quarter pound of cannabis off my record. I just want to say this. You remember when that Jack fuck came in here a day ago or 2 days ago and tried to argue with me that pardons are retroactive. And if you get a presidential pardon, you can commit any crime in the future that you want. Oh, really? Not only is that bullshit, but now New York just passed a bill that says they can prosecute you if you've been pardoned by the president. Now, does that mean they can prosecute you for what you've been pardoned for? Maybe it does. Maybe it does. I don't know. I didn't really pay that much attention to what the fucking boring hand-waving guy was saying. But I'm just telling you, you guys should all be aware of who these fucking murderers are. And if you get the opportunity to spit on them, I would recommend it. I'd spit on them for murdering innocent people. You know. You know this much, cannabis can make you sweat. Yes, it can. I just remembered that changed your comment. Amber, thank you, hon. I appreciate that. And I appreciate you. Denise Osgood Rhodes, good morning. Karsten, that's just not true. You're right. Yeah, boy. More states should jump on board with New York. Every state should. I mean, and Joe Biden should pass a law and do away with presidential pardons. I mean, who the fuck is Joe Biden going to pardon? You know? Or how about this? Pardons can only be used on people who were unjustly convicted. How about that? You know, those guys that murdered those people in Iraq, those soldiers those American soldiers that were wearing the American flag and wearing American uniforms, those murdering soldiers. You like that, you boy? I did that just for you. Are being pardoned for murdering innocent people. They were convicted of murder, and there should be no way in fuck hell that Donald Trump or anyone else can excuse them of what they fucking did. They're guilty. They're guilty. They're guilty of murder. And that's where, you know, if you want to keep presidential pardons, I'm okay with that because I know that people get wrongly convicted and a president can come along like Julian Assange. could really use a fucking presidential pardon right now. If dumbass Trump, he's such a fucking idiot. Oh, God. He could have won the election. He could have done two things. He could have won the election. He's such a moron. You could have legalized cannabis, and you could have, or made access for all, and you could have fucking pardoned Julian Assange. You would have won the fucking election, you stupid fucking prick. You didn't want to listen to us, and now you lost. Na 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 na, na 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 na. Hey, hey, hey. Goodbye. Goodbye. We told you. We told you to fucking pardon Julian Assange. You should have done it before the election. We told you to make access for all. You ignored us. And now you lost the fucking election. And now Joe Biden needs to do this shit. Or guess who's coming back in 4 years? If he's still alive. I hope he gets killed by a fucking Big Mac. I hope he chokes on a fucking Big Mac. Not pay their taxes? Yeah. God, that fan feels so good. I'm so glad I have that right here. That is just perfect. Perfect. So I watched an excellent H.A. Goodman this morning. And, you know, the reason I bring up H.A. Goodman is not only because I love watching his show, we actually agreed on a couple things again this morning, H.A. Goodman and I. And I like showing you guys that there is a bridge to cross and that we can get along with people we disagree with. And that the more we talk to each other, more often times we will find things that we come together on. And if you watch this H.A. Goodman segment with me, I guarantee you, you're going to hear things that I disagree with H.A. Goodman on, but you're going to hear things that I agree with him on. Now, he's not a Republican, but he is a Trump supporter. And if I can agree with him on he put up a couple videos. He's been putting up a lot of it. He's a busy little bee. This could be another video, but it doesn't matter. He covers a lot of the same stuff from video to video. I got 5 minutes into this one. I love these videos so much. I know you guys don't agree with me, but I hope he grows. I hope he grows on you.
A message to Mitch McConnell today. If your hatred of one man is greater than your love for this country, you are the problem. My message to the anti-Trump Republicans is simple and clear. So, I respect Lin Wood a great deal. Lin Wood and Sidney Powell I respect a great deal. They both defended people who were set up and framed. Michael Flynn was set...
Okay, let me just speak to one thing here. When H.A. Goodman says he respects Lin Wood and Sidney Powell a great deal, I have to stop and I'm going to call him on his bullshit just right now. Okay, I can't say shit about Lin Wood because I don't know him. I don't know a thing about him. I've never heard really anything that he said. But I have heard Sidney Powell. And she's a fucking lunatic. And she thrives off of conspiracy theories and lies. And if he was being fair to his audience, he would reveal that. And he refuses to do that. He instead says he greatly respects her. I don't know how you can greatly respect Sidney Powell and be a person of reason. Okay, so Sidney Powell did one good thing. You know, I heard that when Adolf Hitler was a child, and she's going to bring the whole house down, and she's going to expose this election, and blah, blah, blah. Oh, and wait till Monday. Oh, it's all happening on Monday a month ago. Remember that? Oh, it's all going to happen on Monday. And H.A. Goodman was like, wait till Monday. It's all going to happen on Monday. Dude, she totally lied to you. And look at you, H.A. Goodman. Look at you. Look at you now. Look at us, bro. Look at us. Look where we are. It's gotta hurt, man. Look at us. Look what you've done to us, H.A. What have you done to us? What have you done? What did you do? What did you do to us, the family, as a whole, you? No good. You're no good. You stay seated. You stay sitting down, H.A. Goodman. You stay sitting down right there. You do not get up. Sit down. Shut up, you.
Set up and framed by a very corrupt intelligence, or I should say by corrupt intelligence officials on behalf of President Obama's administration, which nobody really
He's
puts
say-
two
he's
and
saying
two
it right
together.
here.
It was President Obama's administration
He's saying because she defended
who did not
Michael Flynn,
adhere
the
to
liar.
tradition and broke norms by investigating an incoming president that just happened to be the direct political rival of his former Secretary of State. Lynn Wood, so Sidney Powell represented Michael Flynn
Okay.
against
You keep saying
a
that.
machine that went after him
You already said
for
that.
allegedly lying to Peter Strzok, who
You just said
was
that.
basically a Democratic
Repeating it doesn't make it double as powerful, AJ. You already said
You
that.
saw his text message, "We'll stop Trump. We can go on forever." He even deleted references
Yeah, he
to
can't go on
gross
forever.
negligence in Comey's speech pertaining to Clinton's
I love his voice.
private servers with top secret intel.
His voice
he
is
did
the
so
best.
because it related too closely to the legal statute that she obviously broke. Lynn Wood defended two people,
Okay. He did his job.
very successful with Nicholas Sandman in gaining a tremendous victory against the Washington Post.
Okay,
Lynn Wood got
okay.
hopefully a tremendous.
Now, Nicholas Sandman is the little Make America Great Again kid with that red hat. You guys remember when the Native American man was beating his drum and he got up right in that kid's face? And the kid just stood there and smiled. And the media singled him out and said that he basically went after the Native American, which was not true. They misrepresented the whole situation, and that's true. The media did slander the kid, say really horrible shit about him. Absolutely. But at the same time, you know, this is how people feel about people that supported Donald Trump. And when you put a MAGA hat on your head, automatically it says a lot about you. You support a racist president. So this is the thing that H.A. Goodman doesn't want to look at. H.A. Goodman has worn a red MAGA hat on his podcast. So that to him is not itself a crime. Supporting Donald Trump to him itself is not a crime. Let me tell you something. To a lot of people, it is. And he doesn't want to accept that. He just doesn't even want to think about it. But the fact is, that kid had a smug smile on his face, didn't back away, and didn't show that Native American any respect whatsoever, even though the guy did approach him. And he could have. He could have. He didn't have to stand there and act like he was some kind of a fucking, badass little Trump supporting fucking, swastika wearing fucking, Hitler youth, which he did. He really struck me as a Hitler youth when he stood there, and H.A. Goodman doesn't see that. So what he says is Lynn Wood, who came and defended that kid and won, is some kind of a champion because he defended that poor child who was abused by the evil media and the fake news. So, I see where he's coming from. At the same time, Lynn Wood saw an opportunity to get famous to where he could do something, and someone like H.A. Goodman would in the future defend him. And it worked. Lynn Wood defending that little fucking runt worked. And now here's H.A. Goodman falling right into the trap and defending Lynn Wood. I get it now. I get it. I didn't realize who Lynn Wood was really until just now, and now I understand. He defended a little racist prick. Okay, great. So Lynn Wood's a racist too. Gotcha.
Tremendous or a large settlement for Nicholas Sandman from the Washington Post for going after a young man, knowingly trying to disparage this young man and spread stories that were false about him. But hit subscribe to this channel right now. This is a very important segment. Get this segment viral. Go to hagoodman.com. You could read my writing in The Hill, the Huffington Post Salon, the Jerusalem Post, the Roanoke Times. You could see my debates. If you want to support my voice long term, my Patreon is below. And in the pinned comment within my website. My message to all the anti-Trump Republicans is simple and clear. If your hatred for one man is greater than your love for this country, you are the problem. He's also talking to Mitch McConnell, almost certainly. And Mitch McConnell might lose control of the Senate.
Let's talk about that.
It's really interesting what McConnell's been doing.
Let's talk about that. Georgia's up for a Senate race, and the Democrats could take the Senate. I'm scared that could happen. Some of you might be thinking, whoa, what, Nay? What did you just say? You're worried that the Democrats might secure the Senate? You know, the best thing for the American people is when there is a political system full of leaders that want to hurt you, okay, the best thing for the people is a non-functioning government. Okay, now if that government was full of people that cared about you and wanted to help you and do good things, then you would want it functioning. Do you see what I just said? Do you understand? You've got both the Republicans and the Democrats, and all they want to do is pillage you. That's it. That's all. And that's all they're doing right in front of our faces. We're literally sitting here watching them do it. If you guys would watch Jimmy Dore, Lee Camp, and Graham Elwood, you guys would know all of this. I wouldn't have to sit here and explain it to you. I wish you guys would follow Jimmy Dore, Graham Elwood, and Lee Camp and listen to what they say. You know, this motherfucker right here, he'll get into it a little bit, but he won't expose them for what they really are because he's got his tongue so far up Donald Trump's butthole that he can't talk straight. But you know, when you come here, you're going to get the straight story, and I'm going to tell you what's going on. And what's going on is between Nancy Pelosi, Mitch McConnell, Donald Trump, and Joe Biden, these motherfuckers are raping us. It's what they want to do. They don't want to do good things for you, okay? So having the Senate a Republican while having a Democratic president and them not being able to get shit done is what we need so we can go plant our gardens and feed ourselves and learn how to sustain, learn how to take care of your neighbors and build communities and fuck this fucking government. And hey, man, not everything's going to work out. It's not going to be beautiful. It's not going to be fucking utopia, but you'll be able to eat and you might have water. And he's relying on a non-functioning government to feed his ass. Hell, ask H.A. Goodman where he gets his water from. Ask him where he gets his fucking food from.
He's dropped the ball. And if you look at Real Clear Politics, I mean, the polls we've learned from November are completely meaningless. But Warnock is up over Loeffler by 1.5 points.
Who am I smoking
1.8
for?
points. And Ossoff is up over Purdue. So God help this country.
Keep running.
If the Senate goes Democrat. I don't think they'll pack the courts, but there's going to be a push for that.
Karsten, this one's for you, buddy. Cheers.
And
Karsten. Cheers.
Nuclear deals to Democrats having carte blanche, free reign of the United States government. Something tells me, though, that all of the bizarre things that took place in Georgia just won't happen for the Georgia Republicans. But they can very well lose control of the Senate, and it'll be Mitch McConnell's fault, and it'll be the fault of Mitt Romney and Ben Sasse and the people who were never Trump Republicans. Here's what McConnell did that makes no sense. He sent, number one, he sent a bill to President Trump filled with wasteful spending that spending that has nothing to do with relief. So, I do believe...
Now, aren't you glad we just listened to that lawyer tell us about the bill? Now you have a really good idea. Now, this is where it all comes together, everybody. You have a really good idea of what that bill really was about. And H.A. Goodman he puts it in a different wording, frames it almost identically. Listen to what he's saying here and realize there are places that we do come together.
He sent, so, okay, number one, he
Hey,
sent
Randy.
a bill to President Trump filled with wasteful spending that spending that has nothing to do with relief. So I do believe that people need the $2,000 check, not the $600 check. He should never have.
There you go. Stop right there.
Have signed off.
Stop
on a
right
bill.
there. H.A. Goodman just said he thinks you guys should have 2,000, not 600. We agree on that as well. And it's important that you guys realize the places where we agree on, those should be the only things we're fucking really talking about. What we agree on. You know, when we disagree on shit, we shouldn't be fighting and arguing, whatever. We should be working out on our own how the fuck we're going to come to terms with it. But understand, when we can have a conversation with people, we have to be listening for what we agree with. So we can say, hey, man, I agree with you on that. Let's talk about that.
Republicans should never have signed off or allowed a bill to pass that was just $600. They could have simply said, you know what, we're sending this back
And
to
listen,
Pelosi. It has $600, not
the things that we agree on should be the things that we talk about politically, right? In other words, you know, our right to own guns or whatever, that shouldn't be in the political spectrum. A woman's right to choose to have an abortion or not, that shouldn't be a political football, and politics shouldn't have anything to do with a lot of this shit. You know, but we've brought, you know, gender and shit into politics that shouldn't be there, you know, and we argue about shit that we shouldn't even be talking about. We should be talking about the shit we agree with. Do you understand where I'm coming from?
$1,000, which is what President Trump wanted. Okay, they knew that Trump wanted 2,000, not 600, but they signed the bill. They passed the bill anyway in the Senate. So then they gave Trump they made it Trump's responsibility, and they put all the media attention and focus on President Trump to either accept or veto or not sign a bill, and they did so. The timing was horrendous. Because when they passed this bill full of spending that has nothing to do with pandemic relief, they said, okay, well, you have to sign this. It's full of spending that has nothing to do with a relief package for people, and it's for a dollar amount that you don't want. You wanted more. Prior to that was the original sin. They allowed the country without any pushback at all.
What's up, Dave?
There's been no pushback by Republicans to open up the country. We have all the major states in this country are completely shut down in terms of economic growth. Okay? There are places most of the country, you can't even go to a restaurant. So, and businesses have gone under. People need...
Alan Moda, right on, buddy. Cheers, bro.
Need checks, whether
Cheers.
it's unemployment or these stimulus checks. That plays into the Democratic Party's hand. They say, well, you know what, we have to shut down the economy to save people's lives. Meanwhile, they're ruining people's lives because the economy is not open. It's not having the desired effect in protecting human beings, even though they keep on saying, well, it would have been worse had we not engaged in our failed policies. So that's the rebuttal. And then we say, well, you know what, the new
H.A. Goodman and I disagree on shutting down and opening up the economy. We're going to talk about that too.
We're finding out new things every day, and we can go on and on regarding that, but there's no pushback. Republicans have not had any rebuttal to the fear-mongering and to the economic catastrophe that's taken place the past year. They just fall in line. They're afraid of media. They're afraid of being blamed. There's just one political reality in this country. We're supposed to have two political parties.
Hear that?
So at least
I agree.
Lin Wood and President Trump and others have brought to the table is a shift in paradigm, a shift in thinking within this very flawed paradigm.
I want more coffee.
What's the point?
I'm making more
if
coffee.
You're not going to have if you're not going to have a rebuttal to. If you're not going to back the president pertaining to Peter Navarro's 36-page report, if you're not going to back the president on opening up the economy, if you're not even going to back the president on passing a bill that has the correct dollar amount, or at least a dollar amount that's somewhat palatable, not $600, then why is there even a Republican Party? You might as well give it to You might as well give it to Democrats and send some kind of message. I'm not saying deliberately lose, but there's a silver lining to actually losing, which might actually happen. Then they want, which would be hopefully to prove to every Republican out there that Mitt Romney and Ben Sasse, that mentality will never win, will never again win within American politics, and is a certain loss for Republicans going forward. You have, ladies and gentlemen, the Democratic Party candidates up in Georgia right now. The Senate Republicans are in complete disarray. Then you have McConnell saying, oh, well, we want a commission in the Senate to look at the allegations within the 36-page report. That's a recipe for disaster. A commission in the Senate. Well, I've been saying these things are important, but that's not. You don't. An investigation from Republican senators that want to get to the bottom, that want to get to the truth. That is what we need. We don't need a lame attempt, last-second attempt by McConnell to say, oh, we just want to add this commission in there. So that's one of the things he wants, a commission to investigate the 36-page Peter Navarro report, which on the surface sounds pretty good. But that's not, that is not going to work out well if you just add that within a $2,000 bill, within a bill. Here, Trump put Senate Republicans in a real jam, but McConnell might have a way out. President said GOP lawmakers have, okay, they don't okay a $2,000 stimulus check. So he signed the $600 relief bill. Now they're working on $2,000, making it enhancing it to $2,000. But part of the demands are the investigation into the Peter Navarro report. That's not even going to.
Nobody's even doing
that'll be undermined by the same people who've undermined President Trump already. Even I'm saying that. I've been saying we need investigations.
We need them.
You need the investigations that need to take place should be independent from Mitch McConnell, not and establishment senators or rhinos. They shouldn't be crammed into demands to boost payments to $2,000. Democrats will never, and then you're relying on Democrats to sign off on this. The stimulus payments are popular at a time of high joblessness, as millions of Americans struggle to pay rent and buy food in the pandemic. That's because Democrats have shut down the economies.
Stooks,
in the most populous states
hey,
of the
Teresa,
country.
Karen,
They have
Debbie.
the worst outcomes in terms
Hope you're
of the
feeling
pandemic
okay from your
and the
chiropractor.
highest unemployment rates. But you haven't had any pushback from Republicans. It's just been one singular voice. Whatever media and Democrats say, and the Republicans just, in this sheepish, petrified manner, just go along with everything because they don't want to be blamed. But lives are still being lost. And the one certainty that we have is that economic catastrophe has already hit millions of people, and it will get worse, unfortunately, the economic catastrophe.
See, he knows that.
So
he knows that.
Him outright would be painful for the
He's
GOP,
not.
especially here at the Georgia runoffs, which will determine which part.
He's not with like the 1%, He wants Medicare for all, guys. He agrees with he wants suffering to stop. So we come to terms on some places, man. There's other things he says where you'll see I'm just going to totally disagree.
Party controls the Senate. Right now, I mean, I don't know. I don't know what's going to happen in the Senate. I really don't. I think the Republicans will pull it off, but who knows?
This is where him and I agree.
The way Republicans have handled
the Republicans need to hold on to that fucking Senate.
They might have already given the Senate to Democrats, and with the way with what's been taking place in Georgia the past,
and it does look like they are going to take it, guys.
Knows?
It does look. I'm worried about that. I am worried about that.
Lord knows what's going to happen on January 5th. The Republican Party, unfortunately, is in complete disarray right now. Complete disarray. The one.
I wish I had a public platform.
I don't want Democrats to take control of the Senate.
I wish I had a public platform where I could reach 60 or 70 million people, you know? And I could just tell them, look, Georgia, listen to me. Go watch the last 10 minutes of the show, you know? Yeah, I explained it pretty good. We want the government to stay in chaos. These people want to hurt us. We don't want to give either of these parties power. You know, if Georgia fucking flips the Senate, we're going to have some fucking problems. And it's going to be almost a guarantee that Donald Trump gets reelected in 2024. This is what H.A. Goodman is going to be talking about, I'm sure, when he says there's a silver lining. He says if we lose, we could actually be winning. He's right. And he's going to say, people are going to get so sick of these fucking Democrats, what they're going to fucking do, that that Donald Trump's going to walk right in and take it right back.
Senate, but if they do, there's definitely a silver lining. You could place the blame squarely on Ben Sasse and Mitt Romney, and on Mitch McConnell also. Mainly Sasse and Romney, and Richard Burr, and senators that went after Trump for 4 years. I mean, they'll deserve to, they really do deserve to lose the Senate. Again, I don't want it to happen, and I actually don't know what will take place. I was actually really, really confident that Loeffler and Perdue will win. But look what you have. You have...
Neither party wants us to have Medicare for all.
A red state that is...
Neither party wants us to have universal basic income. Neither party wants to
well, I mean, and then you have
to forgive student loan debt.
Who knows what's really going on, but...
Neither party wants to...
The polls are meaningless, but you do have Democrats up
deal with
polls.
COVID and have a real lockdown.
If there's no difference
neither party wants to change the taxing.
Senators and Republican senators, then why go out to vote? You need a Republican Party that's completely revamped. Revamped, reborn, whatever you want to call it. You need a Republican Party that stands by President Trump, or 74 million supporters of President Trump. You
disagree.
This
I totally disagree.
Wishy-washy, tepid, frightened political party that runs by Ben Sasse and Mitt Romney and Richard Burr and...
I totally disagree, but unfortunately, this is where we're heading, and this is the problem. People think because a year is changing, because now it's gone for 2020, now it's 2021. People are, oh, it's a new year. Things are going to start getting better. Let me tell you something. More people are going to support Donald Trump. More people are going to support cheating and lying and pardoning murderers. It's not going to get any better, guys. And don't be fooled by the fact that a goddamn new year is here, that all of a sudden everything's going to be fucking peachy and rosy and keen. It's going to suck my dick. And it's only going to get worse. And because of people like this motherfucker right here, that are encouraging people to support Donald Trump and his fucked up ways while ignoring all of the bullshit that he does, that it's only going to get fucking worse. And this guy is part of the fucking problem right here. And you guys need to be aware of that. Oh, look, his eyes look like they're off there. It's kind of funny. Looks like his eyes are looking in different directions. Hey, what are you looking at? H.A. Goodman, why are you looking over there? What's over there? What's over there, though?
People who are upset at Linwood,
it's like, bam!
They're not looking into the future saying, okay, what happens in 2022, 2024, 2026, 2030? I mean, The media is not going to let up. The media has already sunk its teeth into this past election. They got a taste of what they're able to accomplish.
Pier 1 imports.
So they're not going to let up. And you need Republicans to actually push back, to offer a different vantage point.
It's
Republicans
H.A. Goodman.
don't offer a different vantage point.
HAGoodman.com.
President Trump is an anti-intervention, anti-regime change,
A. Goodman on YouTube.
populist president,
Go subscribe to his channel.
which is a very good thing. Being anti,
He's been on my show.
War and regime change and
You can
intervention
see the interview
and
right
crime
here
used
at
to
Nays
be a
Garden.
liberal concept. Now it's a populist conservative concept. That's a very good thing to rally around.
He's looking in the future, yeah.
Every single thing Trump does is undermined by Ben Sasse, Mitt Romney, Richard Burr, and others. They set him up and framed him. They offered no pushback for the government for the lockdowns or economic shutdowns. Now they're fighting over stimulus payments that don't address the underlying causes of what's going on, this economic catastrophe that's self-induced. So I mean, I don't know what Republicans are doing. I'm not a Republican. I support President Trump. So that's the difference between me. I'm not vote red no matter who. There's vote blue no matter who, and you have the entire left. I'm talking about the most radical socialists, anarcho-socialists on the far left. They're vote blue no matter who. Most of them are frightened beyond belief of even a floor vote for Medicare for all, for example. This is what Democrats want. The difference between Democrat and this is what the left wants. But the majority of the left would never do that, and because they know Democrats do not want Medicare for all, Green New Deal, universal basic income. They're lying to their voters.
Right?
The people on the far left want to be lied to. They just want to prolong this fantasy that one day Democrats will change.
This is where it makes
they're
sense.
Too frightened to go up against the Democratic Party. The difference between those people and
I agree.
populist Republicans,
I agree.
populist Republicans actually run the Republican Party, but their voices are being stifled by the 10%, Mitt Romney, Ben Sasse, Richard Burr, now McConnell, that go along with the Lincoln Project or go along with Democrats on key issues. So Trump, this is interesting because Trump has transformed the Republican Party, but we haven't found a way, ladies and gentlemen, to amplify President Trump's message beyond his
Over 4
Twitter
years.
account and the 74 million supporters of President Trump. I mean, he's created a tremendous movement of people. He's actually revamped the Republican Party. The Republicans don't want to apparently win, so they keep on undermining the only chance they have at victory, which is President Trump. So this is a conundrum we face. That the only way might be, I'm not advocating people don't vote on January 5th, but I'm saying the only way might be in the long term for Republicans to see what 2 years of Democratic control means and ask themselves, whose fault was this? Not the 90% approval rating within the Republican Party. The fault is people like Loeffler and Perdue, who just last second, or McConnell, just last second backed President Trump when after 4 years they were silent. When media and Democrats and never Trumpers were tormenting the president. We have to do away with that mentality forever, and it might take 2 years of complete Democratic control of the government, which would definitely not be good. Give me your thoughts below. Hit subscribe right now.
It'd take
Thank you.
2 years of Democratic control, maybe 4, but then Donald Trump comes marching right back into the presidency, guys. And if it's not Donald Trump, then, man, it's going to be his daughter or his fucking son or one of his underlings or somebody even worse, man, or somebody that's, Mike Pence. You fucking have no idea, man. It could be anybody. It could come from anywhere. It could be really, really, really bad. You know, it's just like H.A. Goodman said. The Democratic Party doesn't want you to have Medicare for all. They don't want you to have a high payment or even a fair payment to get you through this pandemic that they're locking you down from. Hey man, and I support it, but listen, it should be done in 30 days and be done. But listen, they're fucking prolonging this shit. It tastes Nike Jungle, whatever your name is, Nike, 97. It tastes really good. It tastes really good. All kinds of flavors I smoke here, lemony and orangey and kind of like almost like a minty, piney, just sweet. Really, really neat flavors, man. Anyhow, fuck. I forgot what I was saying about all of that. But he's right about about them not wanting you to have things like Medicare for all, student debt forgiveness, student loan forgiveness, and universal basic income and higher payment for COVID and so many things while they keep you locked down. It's psychotic. And the Democrats don't want you to have it, and the Republicans don't want you to have it, and you guys just have to be aware of that. You know? So important that you know that. AOC doesn't want you to have it. Nancy Pelosi doesn't want you to have it. You know, if they really wanted to help you, they'd give you fucking $10,000 per person, like you really need. Like, if you think you've lost, because of COVID, if you think you've lost $10,000, press 1. Because of COVID. If you think you've lost the ability to make $10,000 with whatever job you had over the last year, and partly because the government has to lock this all down, or has been doing it sporadically. Stooks has. Few of you have. Look at that. The government should give you all $10,000, man, per person. Fuck this fucking $600 shit. You guys have lost that money, man. While they're sitting there with this money and they're putting people to war, they're spending money on war. They're doing a war thing right now. Oh, you passed the defense bill. Yeah, great. Yeah, great. Oh, yes, you passed the defense. Oh, yes, great. Fantastic. I feel so protected. You know, everybody's got it so bad right now. I don't think anybody's planning a fucking attack. Oh God, we're so pathetic. We're pathetic. What can I say? I can say that my doggy's cute. He's a cute boy. Oh, he's very cute. He's beautiful. You're so beautiful. Look at how beautiful you are, Rogan. You're so beautiful. Your ear's getting better. Your ear's getting better, buddy. Look at your ear. Yeah, you don't scratch it so much. It's nice to see his ears getting better. His hair's growing back on his ear. You see it standing straight up again? Yeah. You feeling better, buddy. He is a very handsome boy. He's a very handsome. Look, he's also very shy. Rogan, are you shy? Rogan, are you being shy right now? You're so cute. Oh. Why are you so cute? You gonna play with the toy? You gonna play with the toy? What's your favorite toy up there? What you got? What you got? You got something? No? how to make a buck. I've got him on an antibiotic, giving it to him twice a day at 9 o'clock at night, 9 o'clock in the morning, and rubbing some kind of a cream on both ears once a day with the cream inside and outside the ear. And it's helping so much. What you got, buddy? Is that your favorite toy? He grabbed one of his toys. He's so fucking cute. Rice is good to have. I got a lot of rice in storage. I've got a lot of seeds that I can plant and grow vegetables. I've got vegetables growing right now, as a matter of fact. Not enough to feed myself, but, you know, I've got where I can start, you know, easily cutting off tomato clones and planting a whole bunch of tomato plants, and I would be good to go. There is a tomato plant, I believe, out there that survived. The big one died totally. The big one, the big cherry tomato plant that was in pot number 1 that you guys could never see, but it was gigantic. That one, the whole plant died. I guess when the roof probably came off and it froze. Billy Bond says, ditch Mitch. Karen says, we had to do that with our American. That's terrible. It's so nice to see him all comfy like that and just all relaxed and not scratching. Every day he doesn't scratch, his ear, the swelling goes down a little bit more. And a little bit more hair grows back. You know, he was bleeding. No, I don't know who that is, Mackhard. Who is that? He had scratched himself so bad on the inside and the outside of both ears that there was blood started staining his fur. I had to give him a bath. So worried about that. And now I'm putting coconut oil in my hands and melting it and then putting it right into his skin on his back, feeding it to him. Cryptocurrency, Bitcoin. I'd stay the fuck away from it, bro. I'd fucking plant a garden, man. I'd be worried about planting a fucking garden. Where am I going to get my water from? I'm not going to be worried about fucking crypto goddamn currency when that shit crashes. Or somebody hacks it. Did you grab micro lens thing? No. Oh, here it is. It's right here. It was right in front of my face the whole time. Oh, shit. Isn't that funny? I thought it was. Let me look at your skin here, man. Don't be scared. Looks great. I can see oils. Huh. Wow, bro. I literally see follicles producing oil. And his skin looks great, man. It looks like white meat from chicken, you know, like turkey. It looks beautiful. And I can literally see oil coming up from the fucking his follicles are producing oil that is so cool to see. It's literally bubbling up like a spring. That's the coolest thing I've ever seen, man. That is so cool. I didn't know that was going on in there. So he's producing oil, you know. He's a little flaky, but I'll rub some more coconut oil into his skin today. You know, I'll do it every day. Keeps him shiny and nice looking. What is that device? It's a microscope with a light on it that I use for looking at trichomes. They're $11. Everyone should own one of these. They're $11 on Amazon. It's a little microscope with a light on it. It's called an Echo Plus. 30 times illuminated microscope with a light. And you use this lever to move the light. I always just move the light right onto the other side because you're looking down this side and the light is over here on this side. So you angle the light over that way, and I just always keep this thing all the way over. You can move the light. You can move the light with this lever. So I just always leave it like that. So it's always pointed right down the... You can literally, you'll see it. It goes right down the hole that you're looking down, and just leave it in that position. And the only time you would take it away is if it's too bright and you can't see what you're looking at, but it works great like that. Oh, and then there's the focus wheel, and you just got to turn the focus wheel. Turn the focus wheel, you'll see all kinds of shit, man. Like I was able to see the hair, then I saw the skin, then I saw the oil bubbling out of the follicles. I was like, wow, that's fucking cool, dude. I gave him an egg with his breakfast this morning. He's got on his next bowl of food, I've already poured a whole bunch of olive oil on it, and then I'll put coconut oil in his skin directly. I don't know when I'm going to get my Jeep fixed. Good, Karen. That's great. All right, you guys. Well, I am out of here. Hey, Billy. I hope you guys had a good time. I will see you on the next show this afternoon. Check out my website, naysgarden.com. Check out the interviews. They're pretty cool. Go do a super chat on some of their live shows and ask them if they'll have me on to talk about the things that we've talked about. We talk about pretty important stuff here, you know. More people should hear it. So go spend the $2 for me, man. I'd appreciate it. Thank you, guys. Check out my friend Ron Placone at ronplacone.com, lucyandron.com, his comic, which is great. He's also at Ron Placone on YouTube. You should all be subscribed to Ronnie and Graham and Jimmy Dore and Lee Camp, and you should all be listening to what they're saying for sure. They're covering all the news, you know, and you can get your news from honest sources and good people. All right. Bye, guys. You're welcome. Take care.